The final award recognizes the culmination of integral formation at Pinecrest Academy, and it is called the Integer Award. This award is a 4-year award, and as such, distinguishes itself as the culmination of a student's formation during their high school years in all 4 areas of integral formation: apostolic, human, intellectual, and spiritual. These students inspire and influence their peers for the common good. In order to be considered for this award, students must have attended Pinecrest Academy for all 4 years of high school. After the Integer Awards are announced, each of the recipients will then give an address to the class of 2023. At this time, I'm proud to recognize this year's Female Integer Award winner for the class of 2023. Mrs. Bone was pleased to be able to write a few lines about her. I have watched this young woman thrive at Pinecrest Academy. She excels in the classroom, on the athletic field, and in her Christian witness. Her desire to excel is a model for all of her peers, particularly in the areas of determination and work ethic. She does not do anything without giving it her full effort. What I find most impressive is that she does all of this in a quiet and humble fashion. She seeks to be the best version of herself, not for accolades or awards, but because she simply wants to do the right thing. We will miss her. The Integer Award recipient for the female class for class of 2023 is Miss Colleen Sullivan.
Good morning, friends, teachers, staff, and family. I'm so grateful to be sharing this day with you as a bittersweet end to our high school years. As I reflected on what it meant to be a Pinecrest graduate, I kept coming back to a saying by St. Teresa of Calcutta: do ordinary things with extraordinary love. We sometimes overlook the profound impact that simple acts of love can have on others and on ourselves. We become so focused on the end result or the next step that we forget the true essence of our actions, the love we bring to each moment. To start off, I'd like to mention 2 of the most important people in my life, my parents. Mom and Dad, I want to thank you for your endless generosity and for being amazing people whom I admire every day. I truly appreciate your value of Catholic education and the money, time, and effort you've put into supporting me in this school. Here at Pinecrest, we have a mission statement that I'm sure almost everyone in this gym has heard over and over again. Pinecrest is trying to form us, the students, into Christian leaders who will transform society. This is done through our 4 pillars of formation: intellectual, human, spiritual, and apostolic. I've realized that by developing us through the 4 pillars, and by doing ordinary things with extraordinary love, Pinecrest is aimed to transform us into the men and women we are today. Moreover, they're training us to do the same so that we all can transform society. At the core of Pinecrest and this mission are the people who actually make it happen. So I'd like to take this opportunity to highlight some of the faculty and staff that I believe have helped me with my integral formation by doing ordinary things with extraordinary love. By looking at each of the pillars, we can see their impact. The first pillar is intellectual. Looking back on my classes throughout high school, 2 that stick out simply due to the love and enthusiasm with which they are taught are my philosophy class and my AP English classes. In philosophy, Mr. Montano truly exemplified patience as the class dove into whichever new passage or allegory we were reading. And the true joy on his face was apparent when we finally got to the heart of the matter after discussing our hot takes for several days in a row. Thanks to him, whether I like it or not, The phrase, "everything is a grace," will forever be ingrained in my brain. In AP English, Dr. Pearson set very high expectations for us, even going as far as to say that she doesn't believe in 100s because there's always room for improvement. While I might not support that particular belief, her passion for literature, not to mention Italy the Sublime, is apparent to us all, and I'm beyond grateful to have had a teacher so excited to impart her knowledge on us. Thank you to Mr. Montana, Dr. Pearson, and all of my teachers for pushing me to grow in my intellect and for setting a wonderful example of how to lead a virtuous life. The second pillar, human. This pillar focuses on the development of each individual's character and identity. The principle of growth is somewhat unique to Pinecrest, in that Pinecrest is not solely a school for academics. We are here to develop our whole person, which is often done through relationships with students and staff alike. Some people that I know noticed always looking out for me and my fellow classmates and pushing us to be the best versions of ourselves are Miss Brown, Miss Stubbs, and Coach Oshinsky. Miss Brown and Miss Stubbs are two amazing women that I've had the opportunity to look up to these past few years. They're pure examples of how to carry oneself with grace and compassion, and they constantly go beyond the limits of simply being excellent teachers and coaches by caring about the development of the whole student. Thank you, Miss Stubbs and Miss Brown, for constantly being available for extra help, always making me laugh, and listening to my ongoing rants. More importantly, thank you for being amazing teachers and coaches, and for being the best role models I could ask for. Like many of my classmates, I've done a lot of growing up here at Pinecrest, and one of the special things about this school are the people who are there every step of the way. One of these people for me is Coach Oshinsky, and I'm beyond grateful for his consistent, positive presence in my life. Whether he's encouraging me during a game or making me laugh with a horrible dad joke, I've truly felt his impact on my personal development while growing from the annoying little sixth grader to the person I am today. The third pillar is spiritual. Something I've realized that I often take for granted is the sheer amount of people at Pinecrest that are constantly helping to guide me in my faith. Pinecrest has an abundance of outstanding people, such as Father Matthew, Father Terrence, Miss Roman, and the missionaries, who are continuously offering their time and effort to help those around them. One person in particular, Miss Teresa, has had a very special impact on me in high school over the past couple of years. Her genuine care for every single student at Pinecrest is clear, and there are very few times where I've walked past her room and there hasn't been a student receiving her sage wisdom or just simply hanging out and telling her about their day. She's an amazing mentor and friend, and I'm beyond grateful to have experienced her impact on my spiritual life. Last but not least is apostolic. The apostolic pillar is reflective of what it means to be a true servant leader. Being a true servant leader is not about grand gestures, but consistently showing up and putting in your best effort for those around you. There are countless people who I could talk about who exemplify servant leadership. Emmanuel is here every day with a smile on his face, cleaning up after us and making sure our campus is always looking its best. Mr. Wynn takes time out of his busy schedule to come to all of our games to cheer us on and take pictures. If you take a minute to go to the gym after school, you'll see a line right out that door of kids waiting for Kayla to put them back together. The list could go on for hours, but there are two people in particular I'd like to shout out for their commitment to these ideals. Miss Bone and Mr. Rogers. I have unending respect for Miss Bone. She's one of the most hardworking and caring people I know, and she's always looked out for me and every student at Pinecrest. She's recently shown me the true depth of her compassion, as she's consistently gone out of her way to accommodate me and my busted knee the past couple of weeks. Miss Bone, thank you for all that you do, and for caring so much. The high school would not be the same without you. Likewise, Mr. Rogers is an example of true humility and servant leadership. I had the opportunity to witness firsthand his impact over our senior year mission trip to Mexico. It was inspiring to see how much effort he put into building the school we were working on, interacting with the people we met, and destroying the boys in basketball. Like I said, his effort does not go unnoticed, and we are so lucky to have someone who truly embodies the Pinecrest ideals to lead our school. Pinecrest is a truly amazing place. Recently, I've realized more and more how lucky I am to have grown up in a community like this where every single person genuinely cares and has your back. Whether you've been here for 15 years or for one, our class has been through a lot, and we've made so many special memories together. Though I'm sure we're all sad to leave behind the friends, family, and school that have made up so much of our lives to this point, there's so many more wonderful things in store. So as we set out to transform society, remember that you don't have to do great deeds or achieve extraordinary things to make a difference. The value in your action lies in the consistency and love with which they're done. Thank you all, and congratulations to the class of 2023.